Good day, everyone. It is August the 10th, 2022. The Lionsgate portal is still open. It has been a very active portal. Um, there has been basically what I have called the Hall of Horrors crawling through this portal. We've might have encountered obstacles or breakups. Um, just things going awry. Maybe you decided to quit your job. Um, if you've watched the previous videos, this has been everything that I have said before, leading up to this moment of this Lionsgate portal has really been the preparation for shedding the old skin and having an alchemical transformation so that we can basically rise like the phoenix on the other side of this Lionsgate portal. Uh, Lots of shadow work, incredible amounts of shadow work. We've had to just shed layers and layers and layers and look deep inside of ourselves. And then we've had to shed even more after we thought we were done. Um, but it's a beautiful thing doing shadow work. And it's definitely not for the faint of heart because um, changing it's not easy. And the saying goes, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but it certainly can happen. And that is truly why we are here. If you've heard of the ascension path or things like this, the 5D, um, we are basically making that turn to spiral up another layer um, once we move out of this Lionsgate portal. So really on the 8-8, it was making that turn, completing that new spiral and going up for our ascension. So it's funny because that being said, there's sort of this duality that is in this portal. So ascension sounds magnificent, higher states of bliss, people working together, you just feeling better about your life, about yourself. You're living in more of your higher self, right? So, um, but during this portal, it was almost like the Hall of Horrors, okay? And there was just basically a lot of things that might have come up for you during this portal, and it was like the exact same thing that you never wanted to happen, okay? Um, Maybe you broke up with somebody that you've been trying very hard for a very long time to be with. Maybe you've lost your job that you have worked so hard to keep, even though it was stressing you out and you were burned out. Um, just things like that you just didn't want to happen. You didn't want to have to go through the pain because it is painful. It's worrisome. It's stressful. Nobody likes conflict, but you might have had to go into conflict with another human in order to really get to the next level. Um, and so that brings me to the point that I want to make here. I was on a walking meditation a couple of days ago. It was before the portal, but same week. And I just had this very strange uh, feeling that um, my higher self had actually changed positions. Okay, so um, normally I'll ask for my higher self. So we've got our higher self, and then, we have our animal, okay, our primitive egoic being. And I teach to integrate this. There's a lot of blessings whenever you learn to tame your beast, and you can actually use it for your advantage, for the greater good. It brings a lot of power to you, okay? Out of balance, it can look like a child throwing a temper tantrum at times. However, if you can integrate it into the light, it can really be a force that can't be reckoned with, or a force that doesn't you don't want to reckon with, or whatever the saying is. Anyway, it's a very powerful tool that we have. So the teaching that I was getting was, um, so I need to embody my vessel. Okay, and this is coming up for the full moon. It's tomorrow, Thursday, August the 11th. Embody your human, embody the animal. Okay, um, really tap into like the senses, use the senses. um, you want to taste things right now, you want to feel things. Okay, even your own skin. I mean, really feel your hair. Okay, feel your legs, feel your feet, find your body, and just really root deep into your body. Okay, so we've done a lot of shadow work, so we've actually prepared our shadow, our ego, to be integrated and to use it for our highest advantage, which is, I mean, that's really an amazing thing, because when you ascend and you take that turn and you're going up, you're taking all aspects with you. Okay, and that's sort of why, like in the Hindu religion, um, they say they have many gods, but it's really not. It's different aspects of one God. So, um, you'll have the aspect of Ganesh, and Ganesh will remove obstacles. Okay, and he's the elephant. Okay, the elephant god. But it's just the name for the one god that removes obstacles in that religion. Kali. Now, Kali, she's a destroyer energy. And, you know, she, what I'm hearing, she's bad to the bone. Okay, she is bad to the bone. She kicks ass and takes names. Okay, and she is a force to be reckoned with. But don't we need that? Don't we need that aspect of our godly self that doesn't get taken advantage of? So that's what we are doing, because we are learning how to become whole and complete. And we were definitely created in the image of God, right? And if God is multifaceted, just like a diamond and all the hues of color that there are, like in a hologram, it's just all of them intertwined together, but they're all there in the rainbow. All the colors are all there. They just bleed together. It's the same thing. Um, so learning how to really use the ego to your advantage. Yeah, the ego, it helps us survive. It helps in our confidence. A healthy ego will give us healthy confidence. And anybody in the spiritual world knows, if you're going to manifest, you really have to believe in yourself, right? And you have to take the action. Well, that's all the lower chakras. That's all working with the ego. The lower chakras is what is, the ego. There's no reason to disconnect ourselves from that and just live in the higher. Okay, if we just live in the higher, it's almost like we are foregoing our human experience. So be in the world, but not of the world. Okay, be in the world, but not of the world. Be in your feet, be in your vessel. Okay, experience what you need to experience, because there's beauty happening all around us all the time that you don't want to miss out. That's why we came here. And then know when it's time to bring it up to the higher chakras, like in your Kundalini meditation. or Kriya practice, your breath work. Okay. And just, it's about, now we're learning how to live in balance, right? And we've done the shadow work, but now it's like, okay, we've graduated. Okay. We've made it over the hurdle. And now the reward is we get to start experiencing life in a new way. So anyway, this is just one of the teachings that I have heard. Also, I want to show you the 3 feathers. I have found 3 feathers, and it's a wonderful teaching as well. Um, uh, Also, there's a scorpion that I found inside of my house, and those are on my channel as well if you want to take a look at those, along with a beautiful fairy um, that's in Messages from Your Mama video. Mother God, Father God. But yeah, a fairy appeared, but I've been having lots of messengers come lately. The scorpion is very indicative of huge transformation, alchemical transformation. The scorpion turns into the serpent. Okay. And then the serpent will transform into the eagle. And actually, there was a snake skin. It might have been a snake head. It might have been like half of a whole snake. But unfortunately, I saw one of those inside of my dryer just randomly. So I guess it crawled up, and but anyway, so there was the snake. Okay. And God knew, don't send a real slithering snake into my home. So whatever, I got the shell of it. That's fine. But yeah, that was not, I thought the children were just joking with me. Unfortunately, they were not. So anyway, but yeah, I'm going to show you these feathers too, because also on the channel, I had some feathers. Let me see here. Okay. We have lots of feathers. Feathers are messages. All right. So I found this feather. All right. All right. So I found this feather, and that was after I found this feather, and I did a video on that. It's got a Buddha there in the background, that video. And before that, when we started this whole journey, I found this one first, and this one second, and then this nice big one. And the symbolism in these feathers is beautiful. It's growth. And it's also rites of passage. These are baby steps. These are achievements. So if you've been following this and watching, I would say these are for everybody. These aren't just my signs. And everything that I go through, I'm right there with you guys. I am no exception. I've had much shadow work to do lately. But yeah, so those are the messages, the good messages that have come, that we are making progress and growing. Okay. Wonderful. All right. I would like to do a reading. Just pull a few cards for this. I believe it's a super full moon. Sorry, I don't want to cover up the microphone so y'all can hear me. But let's pull a few cards for this super full moon coming up tomorrow. What are the energies? of this full moon for the collective. Mother God, Father God, what are the energies that you would like us to know about this full moon? Okay. Well, that's funny because I literally picked this card right before I turned on the video. So the Page of Michael. Okay. And this is from the Archangel Power Tarot deck. Truthful, perspective, analytical, and blunt. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. So, yeah, we have made our turn. We have passed our tests. And yeah, you have what it takes to succeed. You're moving forward, and it's also cautioning you to be able to use discernment. Okay, truthful, analytical, and blunt, and all of these things really are part of the ego. When somebody tries to take advantage of you, it doesn't matter what it is. You need to be brave enough to calmly call them out on their shit. Okay, if somebody's lying to you, it's okay to call people out on their shit, because a lot of times whenever we get too up in the upper chakras, we don't really speak our truth. But an out of control ego, we can be overzealous in speaking our truth, and be loud and be rude and be combative. No, just say what you need to say very bluntly. And that comes with a very balanced confidence. That is solar plexus, and it's also your throat chakra. So you're going to be using the throat chakra to speak your truth, but is coming from a very confident solar plexus. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. It's time to live out the next little while, just really being very honest about this world, your position in it, and know that we're all here and connected. I mean, nobody here is separate from anybody else. You could try to be, but you could lock yourself in your house and never leave, but you're still part of the collective. So we got to learn how to deal with it. And there's all different types of people in the collective. And that's where a healthy ego will help, because not everybody has your highest good. And honestly, not only that, but if we have a healthy ego and we have a healthy sense of our shadow, then we're not going to end up in the same predicaments and entanglements that we just moved through. Okay, so if you've just ended a situation that was completely unhealthy, you should really be feeling an ego boost right now, a healthy sense of confidence. Okay, and know that with this healthy sense of confidence, you're not going to make the same mistakes again. You've learned. We've learned. We have shed the middle feather, and now we are, we've graduated to bigger feathers. We're spreading our wings even further. Release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox, unnecessary worry based on lack of self-confidence. So this is decision, Archangel Jophiel. Jophilio. I don't know why I'm so tongue twisted today, but I am. I am. So, and I'm hearing, I don't even care. I'm human too. You know what I mean? I'm still making mistakes. Um, but release yourself from that which holds you back. And so that was the past that we just let go of. Okay. A need to detox. Yes. Be grateful for the peace. If you feel lonely, replace lonely with gratitude for the peace. Breakups are never, never easy. But in the end, if there is anything that you could find the silver lining with, it is going to be the peace. And it doesn't have to be a breakup. It could be any type of ending. There are so many cycles that have just closed out in all directions. You know, whatever resonates with you, you'll know. But if, you know, if you have not completely let go of the emotional disarray, you need to detox on this full moon. Okay, so let it go. Write down your worries, burn them. Okay, um, if you can't burn them, you know, just write them down and say, I let it go, and just keep it in your notebook. Um, unnecessary worry on a lack, unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. So if you're still worried about the outcome of a situation or where it's going, um, go into the solar plexus. That's your self-confidence. Okay. And you don't even have to go through your chakras. You just really look at some things that you have done that you can be proud of. Okay. Look at all the times that you did win to help build up that confidence. And we have a heart center in our solar plexus. And when we start feeling worried or um, confused, looking back all the time, what you need to do is just send that energy up into the heart. There's another heart center. And then send that energy up to the crown of the head. There's another heart center up there. And you'll just feel it connect up. That can really help balance the ego. It can help really harmonize your confidence in yourself because you're drawing your confidence through the heart. So it's almost purifying it and detoxing it. Okay. And then when you bring it to your crown, it's another purification and detox. Okay. So I had two cards that dropped out. The World is the next one. Archangel Michael. And also, a lot of times, I want to go back to this one, decisions. A lot of times we have worry and anxiety because we're not making a decision that needs to be made. So if you're living with a lot of anxiety, it might be because it's time to make decisions, but you're not wanting to make that decision. And it could be anything as small as like committing to go to an event or declining to go to an event. You would be surprised at how much mental clutter is living rent free in your mind. It's taking up space. It's like the iPhone, you know, or your phone. Whenever you get so many pictures on there, it just takes up too much space. And then it's like, after that, it just never works the same. Like, it just doesn't. Um, well, at least my phones. But anyway, you got to delete some data. You got to delete a lot of files, you know. Um, Send it to the cloud. Let go and let God, you know. And find your confidence in just making your decision. It's not that hard, but we make it hard. Um, we make life a lot harder than what it has to be, because um, we sit on things for too long. So a lot of energy gets very stuck, very stagnant. Um, Indecision is a very, uh, I don't know, it's just a very low vibration. If you just don't know and you need time to figure things out, absolutely do that. But it's time to start making some decisions. If you haven't made decisions, it's time. The world, a very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. Well, that couldn't be any better. Okay, so like I said, we have closed out a cycle. Um, and when we close out a cycle, there's always going to be the beginning of a new cycle. It's just the nature of life, the ebb and the flow. And this card is telling us a very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. So this full moon is going to bring a lot of clarity. You're going to make those decisions. Maybe some things maybe you just need to decide to speak your truth. And this one is about being blunt and speaking your truth. Maybe there's somebody that you're holding back and you need to speak your truth to. Why would you ever be in a relationship with somebody that you really cannot be yourself completely with? Why? Why would you not speak your truth? Why would you waste your time with people that really don't care about your needs? Well, you could cut them out of your life. But if you really look at it from another perspective, you can embody the ego, gain the courage, and say, hey, look, this isn't working. I'm going to very bluntly tell you what it is I need. And honestly, this card is saying you're going to have happy endings. So if the person can't handle it, or the situation implodes because it needs to implode and it's over and it's low vibrational, well, then tell your ego that's bruised it's okay. And we're going to be fine. I mean, really, we're going to be fine. And if the lesson was building confidence, and if the lesson was around abandonment, I would take it as it's not rejection, it's a blessing. And if it's not a blessing, it was a lesson. Okay. And the world also speaks of new opportunities. Yeah. The spiritual growth and the insight, I mean, that's priceless. Whenever you do what you really feel like is right, even though it takes a lot of courage and confidence to do what you need to do, and to step out on a limb and go out into this world and like quit your job and be like, yeah, I'm putting in a lot of work, but y'all really aren't paying me enough. Maybe you start with asking for a raise and they're like, no, sorry, we can't do that. Even though they're like, you know, and that you deserve a raise. Well, then maybe you get brave, and the next thing you do is you quit worrying and you get the confidence and you go out and you look for something else. Or you go off on your own and start your own business. It takes courage and it takes confidence. And that is where the ego is going to really serve us in this part of our journey, because we are in creation. And that was another thing that I got, that I was hearing. There is just some things that, like, I literally do not want to do, but I have to do it. I mean, when it comes to housework, it is like an everyday thing. You have to keep doing it. And guess what? Like, I'm over it. So I told myself, and really it's just the angels speaking, God speaking, um, look at it from the perspective like you're doing something creative. And I said, okay. So I started cleaning as if it was like my art, like I'm creating and being artistic, because really that's what I like to do. Um, I like to spend my time in, in my artistic side of the brain. And, but regardless, it really helped me to um, look from a new perspective at the mundane, because right now I feel like there's this energy that might feel extremely mundane and boring and repetitive. But I'm hearing what we need to do in all aspects of our life is bring in the energy of creation, of creating something new, because really that's what we have done. We we've stripped away so much. Now we're at the point where it is time to create. Like the hard uh, devastation, hopefully, is over. You might need to tie up a few loose ends, but for the most part, you're in creation mode. It's a beautiful time to be. Um, so you just have to start looking at everything through creation. And even if you have a boring job, you know, you can use whatever artistic ability that you have. Maybe you can start, just even using your handwriting and just really taking your time and notice how your animal writes. Okay. And I know most people like type on computers or whatever, but maybe try writing things down now and write out your grocery list. Okay. Maybe writing cursive, something that you have forgotten. So, anyway, those are just a few examples, but whatever way you can use, you can use creativity in literally everything you do. When you're cooking, you know, the way that you arrange the toilet paper on the back of the toilet, make a nice little pyramid. It's just the small things, the way you arrange the magnets on the refrigerator. Okay. It's these little small things that help move us forward. And it could be way bigger than that. Okay. It could be like creating a company, creating whatever it is, creating a new relationship with somebody. Um, if your partner has done their shadow work, you have the ability at this point to create a whole new cycle, because you've come full circle. You're back to dating again, and really enjoy creating a new, healthier relationship with the same partner. Just because it's not working out doesn't mean the love isn't there, and it doesn't mean you have to necessarily give up. But what it does mean is there's some healing that needs to happen, but there's always the opportunity to recreate. So if you are doing something big, the page of Michael does caution you to check all the documents very thoroughly, review contracts, and also even in your relationships, if you are re-entering a relationship or entering into a new one, that is a contract. Okay, that is a contract. So you really need to let people know who you are and be the best version of yourself, in a confident version, in a healthy way. But yeah, and make sure that you're just really in your vessel, and you have your higher self all around you. Okay, it's there sending you messages, protecting you, um, giving you wisdom. Okay, but it's time to like really walk in our feet right now. Okay, and yeah, so I feel as though we have some wonderful times on the horizon. And I would like to thank you so much for Just being a part of the collective upgrade and the ascension of Mother Earth, because that's really what we have all come here to do. Also, to settle out our own karma with others and learn what we need to learn. But really, if you're listening, um, I know that you are really doing the light work and being a very positive force here on earth. And yeah, I would just like to tell you thank you and namaste. I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks. Yeah, I don't always know when I'm going to come back, so you can subscribe, turn on the bell, and then you'll find out whenever I come back. I usually do 2 a month, but you can always look at this video at any time, get the information. So even if it's 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, it's still relevant. I will get the information and give it to you, um, and then come back when we've turned, when there's been a phase. You know, I don't want to just make up stuff so that we can do it every week. No, like really, we need to just really be realistic about, you know, okay, this is where we're at, and it takes time for things to happen. So namaste, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.